Hello guys, my name is Abhinay. I have introduced myself in my previous video. Guys, today we will be talking about an instrument and its mechanism. Um then and that instrument is of utmost importance in today's days. So we all know that COVID-19 pandemic is going on, and people are dying, millions of people are dying. And the most important thing to monitor in our body, who has been tested covid positive, is the blood oxygen level, the blood or the blood oxygen saturation. As we all know that COVID-19 is a pulmonary virus, so it is related to lungs. Therefore, monitoring O2 level is very very important. So the instrument which is used to monitor the blood oxygen saturation is pulse oximeter. So we will be talking about the mechanism of the pulse oximeter, that how the pulse oximeter actually works. Um so just by inserting the finger in that small instrument, we just come to know our blood oxygen level, and which is also known as SpO2 percentage, and also we'll come to know the heart rate. So we will just first discuss about how the exactly the pulse oximeter works. So let's get started, friends. So guys, here I am telling the mechanism of pulse oximeter. So basically, pulse oximeter consists of we can compare the pulse oximeter to the stapler, like the stapler, like the stapler. We can compare it with the stapler, like its shape is like that, and all that. So basically, the pulse oximeter is like this. I am just drawing the kind of pulse oximeter, a typical pulse oximeter. So this is the pulse oximeter, and we have to insert the our first finger inside it. Okay, okay, guys. So here the above are the sources of light, two sources of light, basically, and in the down, it is the photo detector. Photo detector. Okay, so guys, when we just put our finger inside the pulse oximeter, it gives us a stable O2 level, and a stable O2 level, and the heart rate after some time. It takes time. So firstly we will be talking about how the oxygen in our blood is carried. So the molecule which is responsible for carrying the oxygen in our blood is the hemoglobin molecule. So let us consider this as an hemoglobin molecule. Hemoglobin molecule. So so how exactly the oxygen is transported throughout the blood and throughout our body. So what it does, that the oxygen molecule gets bind to the Hb molecule, the hemoglobin molecule, and then it carries the oxygen to every part of the body. So let us say this is the oxygen molecule. So the hemoglobin molecules which have the oxygen molecule combined with it are known as the oxygenated Hb molecule, and the molecules which don't have the oxygen and the hemoglobin molecule which don't have the oxygen a molecule attached to it is known as the deoxygenated hemoglobin molecule. I just write it. Okay, friends. So Basically what we have to measure is that how much of the hemoglobin molecules exactly have the oxygen molecule attached to them, and how much of the hemoglobin molecules don't have the oxygen molecule attached to them. So in this that is a way in which we come to know that how much oxygen is there in our blood, how much oxygen is there in our blood, because the main factor responsible for transporting the oxygen level in our blood is the hemoglobin molecule. So let us consider an example. If there are 10 hemoglobin molecules, okay, so these are the 10 hemoglobin molecules, 10 hb molecules. So let us say that the 5 out of 10 hb molecules contain oxygen. So this means that the our oxygen saturation, or oxygen level is 50%, is 50%. So basically we just have to know that how many hemoglobin molecules have oxygen attached to them, and how many hemoglobin molecules don't have oxygen attached to them. Okay, so this way, so we have to just calculate that, and the machine which is required to calculate that is a pulse oximeter. So basically the pulse oximeter the pulse oximeter is like this. So basically there are two sources of light, and in one source there is the red light, which has a wavelength of about 950 nanometer, and in other source of light there is in the infrared light, which has a wavelength of nearly 650 nanometer. Okay, so we insert our finger here, and in down there is the photodetector. So as we can say that we can say that this is our blood artery, and here the blood is flowing. So this blood contains many hemoglobin molecules. So when the light passes when the light passes through our finger, and light passes through our finger, so the some of the light is absorbed by the finger, and some of the light is emitted by the finger. So the artery, when the light passes through this artery, when the light passes through this artery, the molecules of hemoglobin which have oxygen attached to them absorb different and the molecules of hemoglobin which don't have oxygen attached to them absorb different levels of energies, absorb different amount of energies. So when the light passes through the finger, the oxygenated hb molecules and the deoxygenated hb molecules, they absorb different amount of energies, and the energy which is not absorbed is gets passed into the photodetector. So what we get, we actually get the energy which has been absorbed by the energy which has been absorbed by the hemoglobin molecule, and the energy which has not been absorbed by the hemoglobin molecule. So we come to know that because we get in the spectra we get two levels of energies. So we can so there is a parameter which can which tells us that which has that what level of energy is absorbed by the Hb molecules and what level of energy is not absorbed by the Hb molecules. So the photodetector detects the light, and it just tells the photodetector detects the light, and it just tells by the amount of energy absorbed. It just tells that how much Hb molecules have oxygen attached to them. So the red light and the infrared light. So the amount of ratio of the red light absorbed, the amount of ratio of the red light absorbed to the amount of ratio of the infrared light absorbed tells us the blood oxygen saturation, which is also known as SpO2 percentage. SpO2 percentage, which is the saturation percentage of oxygen in our blood. So in this way the blood oxygen level is calculated. But there's one complication, that the size of the finger might be different for different kinds of ages, of different kinds of people of different ages. So we have to calibrate the device so that we can normalize that device for everyone, that all should be all the blood level, the blood oxygen level of all should be get monitored. So the device is calibrated in that way, so that we can normalize the device. There are many parameters according to which the device is calibrated. So I have told that till now that how SpO2 percentage is calculated, that ratio is calculated, and all the machineries inside the pulse oximeter, they just calculate it. So and this is of utmost importance in today's world, because we should know the percentage of oxygen in our blood if there is a patient of COVID-19. So let us come to know that I just provide some information about how much there should be the SpO2 percentage. So SpO2 percentage. So 95 to 100, this SpO2 percentage is known as normal. If it is below 95, that is 90 to 94, then it is known as mild hypoxemia. Hypoxemia. If it is below 90, that is 86 to 90, then it is known as moderate hypoxemia. And if it is below 85, if it is less than 85, then it is known as severe hypoxemia. So in the cases where the oxygen level falls below 90, there is a requirement to supply the oxygen externally through the ventilator. So the normal oxygen level should be the SpO2 percentage should be 95 to 100. So in today's world, many of the people are dying due to as the oxygen, they do not get the proper oxygen, proper ample amount of oxygen. And there are several factors like beds are not available and all that. So we just pray that the this COVID-19 pandemic should end as fast as possible, and the life should come back to the normal routine. and we just have to rely on the scientists or the all those healthcare workers who are working. Many of the doctors, many of the nurses, the healthcare workers have lost their life due by in treating the COVID-19 patients. So this is a very grim situation. So we you can follow the normal guidelines like social isolation, like what you can say that wearing the mask completely, and by maintaining social distancing, and by regularly monitoring the um, pulse rate pulse rate and the blood oxygen saturation through the pulse oximeter. The pulse oximeter we should regularly monitor. We should in 2 times a day, in the morning and at night. That we should in morning and in evening we should definitely monitor the SpO2 percentage. So here the video ends. Hope you guys understood the mechanism of pulse oximeter, and if you like this video, then please like this video, uh, like this video and share it, and also subscribe my YouTube channel. So bye bye my friends.